All right, so regardless of where the market goes, nobody can predict it, obviously. Regardless of where Bitcoin's price goes, regardless of where the S&P 500 goes, no one can actually predict this. But what I could do is predict these cycles. So right now, it looks like we're in a confirmed altcoin cycle. I have been making money with my cycle trading strategy. So in this video, I want to make my audience aware of two coins. Everyone must know it. Regardless if you're going to invest in it or not, you must understand and know these two coins. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another video, and today I'm going to be providing you with more research. I'm going to cut the BS, skip the antics, and get directly into the content. I want to go over some of the cryptocurrency news, and then I'm going to make you aware of two altcoins you must know, okay? If you're in DeFi, if you consider yourself a cryptocurrency investor, these altcoins should be on your radar to either purchase or at least understand the infrastructural design and basically what it means to DeFi. Now, this is gonna be Ethereum based, and I know I've been talking about a lot about Cardano, but again, the deeper we get into Ethereum, right, and understanding how DeFi works and understanding the problems that arise in DeFi and the solutions to those problems, the same exact problems are going to arise on Cardano. So the better we understand the DeFi ecosystem, the better chance we are going to make money on Cardano. Now, I've heard this before, and it really hit home for me, and I do want to make you guys aware. Guys, Cardano's coming out with obviously these speedy and cheap transactions, okay? Some things that we see on Ethereum are going to be improved on with the Cardano ecosystem. So the killer application in DeFi is probably going to be something that can handle high transaction speeds with low transaction costs. So you're not going to find, the best innovation on Ethereum, considering that right now I'm literally buying a coin. It costs $150 just to purchase it on Uniswap. Probably not going to find a killer app on Ethereum, at least not right now. But Cardano, that is very possible. So we have to understand the ecosystem in great depth. And if you appreciate this research, do us both favors, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and of course, share it with somebody. Guys, look, only about 24% of you have all notifications on. These videos are very time sensitive. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, put the push notification bell on. Literally scroll to the bottom right now, take a second, push that notification bell, and you will be alerted when my videos come out. The benefit to this is that I look better than all of you. Probably not. You guys look way better than me, man. That comment section's fire. But seriously, if we come over here, Cream Finance exploited for $18.8 million in a flash loan attack. This is unfortunate, but this is a good wake-up call. I use all these, hacks as a wake-up call to understand that we're not really there. This is still a massive innovation in cryptocurrency, and things can happen. There was the other day, the biggest hack in cryptocurrency was like $600 million. It just happened to be that the person that hacked it was nice enough to give the money back because he realized he couldn't use the money anywhere, right? They were tracking him all over the blockchain. But this just happened again on Monday. They basically utilized a weakness in the AMP token, and they had a flash loan attack. Guys, look, I know it looks crazy bad, but understand that these smart contracts are going to have anti-fragility in the future. They're only going to get better. And this is like a whole new playing field for coders, because not only do they have to do it for security, but they also have to have defense for economic attacks, which is exactly what just happened, right? Anti-fragility is the new way to code. These coders have bigger problems to solve, and if they do solve these problems, the whole entire Web 3.0, everything that you guys know today when it comes to Google or any centralized entity will basically be obsolete, right? Because they don't have to worry about the massive security issues with decentralized applications. So the future is here, and there will be bumps along the road. When I put my money into these DeFi apps, I'm okay with all of it going to zero, and you should be the same. If we come over here, we actually have some regulation from Robinhood. It's actually crazy. They might be banning a practice called payment for order flow. So let me just kind of read into it. So they're basically, their shares dropped because there could be a potential regulation where they want to stop PFOF, which is basically, like I said, banning practice called payment for order flow. So the execution of stop trades to third parties. When someone buys a stock on Robinhood, another company pays Robinhood fractions of a penny per share to match buyers and sellers. Using complex price data, these market makers can execute the trade more efficiently than Robinhood could and take a cut of the resultant proceeds. Now, the point of this is that company gets kind of like a first look. They get to match off buyers and sellers out of the order flow, and basically it just gives them a strategic advantage. So this might be banned in the future. Now, it's interesting to know that basically if it does get banned, well, what's their second biggest earning? Their second biggest earning, as you can see right here, is cryptocurrencies for trading. As you can see here, Robinhood reveals 60% of accounts with funds and them have begun trading crypto for the first time, enough for crypto revenue to account of 41% of total revenue, up from 17% of the previous quarter. So can they double down on cryptocurrencies? Is Robinhood going to offer more cryptocurrency products and services? If they get banned from what they're currently doing with their main revenue source, I can confidently say that in the future, yeah, they might just double down on crypto to make money. They have to fill in that revenue source with something if they get banned. If payment for order flow gets banned, yes, and they need to figure something out. So that's really interesting. Obviously, Robinhood, one of the biggest apps on earth when it comes to trading. So this would bring a lot of adoption to cryptocurrency. If we come over here, Binance is auctioning off Van Gogh's NFTs. This is insane. Guys, the NFT world is absolutely crazy. I never realized how big and how dramatic it's going to be. There's NFT selling for millions of dollars. So I will be making NFT series. I want you guys to pay attention to this. And the reason why I say that is because if I drop an altcoin video, you know, people flock to the video. I get a whole bunch of views. But if I drop an NFT video, you know, nobody's really interested. But like, I want to really condition my audience to understand that like there's probably more money to be made in NFTs right now than there is altcoins. It's just earlier. NFTs is like the first big, you know, wave was like a couple months ago. So pay attention. NFTs, I know they're just like a JPEG and it doesn't seem like there's value, but watch my last video where I talked about the oldest NFT and I break it down pretty good. They're selling for more than Bitcoin's price. Some of these NFTs are selling for $300,000. Pay attention to that, guys. The scarcity factor in NFTs are huge. If we come over here, basically just an article from Yahoo Finance that came out August 29th, bringing awareness around Cardano. Cardano will launch ERC20 Ethereum converter bridge next week. So we've talked about this bridge multiple times. This was a very strategic move considering, you know, Binance Smart Chain got a lot of adoption from Ethereum. But the difference between Binance Smart Chain is that they actually paid DeFi developers to come over to Binance Smart Chain from Ethereum. But in this case, you know, they're just kind of offering a better platform, a more decentralized, faster, cheaper transactions. It just happens to be that Binance Smart Chain is very centralized with proof of authority. So let's see how this plays out. But this is the same exact strategy Binance Smart Chain used, and Binance Smart Chain is doing really, really well, obviously. You know, I believe it's top 5 right now. So, you know, this could be really big. DeFi developers having issues with these $150 transaction fees on Ethereum can simply take their code, put it into the ERC20 converter, and transfer their project over to Cardano. That's really interesting. If we look at Google Trends, you can see that non-fungible token is literally right now in the past 24 hour trending. The DKNY brand is actually coming out with an NFT for their brand. Guys, I don't know how many times I got to tell you, this is just digital scarcity. This is artificial truth. They're able to actually identify the owner of a piece of artwork on the internet. This was never before possible in the history of mankind. This is happening right in front of our eyes. I want you guys to pat yourself on the back because if you watch my videos, you are literally on the cusp of innovation. It's just crazy. Let's think about it in 10 years, where you will go if you stick to cryptocurrency, even if there's volatility, even if the market goes down. As long as you double down on what you know and understand from a big picture perspective, and don't let them shake you out of your bads. Don't let them scare you. Don't let the FUD and manipulation. Remember, back in the day, the internet was going to be regulated out of existence as well. People were scared of the internet. They were fighting the internet all over, right? Now look at it. It's pretty much, if you don't understand the internet, you're like obsolete in today's society. The highest paying people on planet Earth know how to use the internet to their advantage and, you know, leverage that skill set. So we're in the same boat. We're way earlier. I am very serious, guys. I believe, you know, a lot of my followers are going to get very rich as long as they stick it out for the long run and understand that this game is going to be very, very hard. It's not going to be easy. There's no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. If we come over here, you can see that Bitcoin total supply held by long-term holders is at an all-time high. People really don't care about the price when it comes to Bitcoin. They're just accumulating. If you think on a long, time horizon, this is the same mindset I have. I have a HODL bag of 25 to 30% of my net worth where I pretty much don't touch it. And it's primarily Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ADA. Right? Everything else I'm using to trade right now so I can increase my net worth and actually add more to that HODL bag. But in general, guys, if I was like wanting to get out of crypto, I would probably just put like 75% of my net worth and just let it go and not even worry about it and just accumulate with whatever else I'm doing. Like if I had a job or something, I would just accumulate over time. But you guys know I love this. And it's not that I could predict it 100%, but I could definitely predict with my portfolio size in a way that outcompetes the Ethereum percentage gains. If you are trading right now and you are not outcompeting Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're pretty much wasting your time. if you don't even know if you're outcompeting Bitcoin and Ethereum, again, you're double wasting your time. You should probably just stop clicking and just invest in Ethereum and Bitcoin. The only reason I trade is because I want to beat Ethereum and Bitcoin. I said that in 3 different ways because I'm trying to imprint it on your brain. These day traders are claiming that strategy is superior, but 9 times out of 10, I outcompete most day traders from my personal experience just off of investing in the long term. It's just that people don't have patience. They want to see their coin pump tomorrow and they want to cash out profits immediately. So on this channel, I like to teach you the fundamentals, but I also like to explore the options of you accumulating more cryptocurrency to, double down on those fundamentals and those Satoshis, and so that we can get rich in the future. If you're with me, drop a like button. Leave a comment below too if you guys want to make some more money on cycle trading, my proprietary strategy, where I could accumulate more Ethereum by using my ETH, which is just complex stuff. It is complex stuff. If we come over here, people are claiming, or somebody's claiming, that we could be looking at the 2013 cycle. That could be a possibility. People keep relating it. Oh, is it 2013 or 2017? I don't think it's either. I think it's somewhere in between. So do I think the bull run is going to continue? I've been saying it over and over again. Yes, I just think it's going to take some time. I think maybe the beginning of next year, we'll see something catastrophically big, maybe some parabolic runs to the upside when it comes to Bitcoin's price, maybe even sooner. But for my videos, I've been explaining that I'm accumulating altcoins, and some of these altcoins are popping off. I bought Serum literally 2 days ago. It's up 7%. We're doing well. I mean, if you look at CoinGecko, you would understand what I'm saying. It's just getting absolutely ridiculous. These altcoins are just doing very well. Some of my altcoin holdings are making me a lot of money. If we come over here, we got some FUD in the street. We have some cryptocurrency YouTubers fudding it up because they don't understand what's going on. So I want to just slightly touch some regulation that can happen in cryptocurrency. And then I want to, watch this video with Charles Hoskinson. So, because he's just way smarter than me and way smarter than a lot of YouTubers I know. And sometimes you just got to let the credibility talk. Sometimes you got to humble up yourself and just, take it from their perspective, because this is where I learned. And I want to show you guys the research that I'm doing for myself. So if we look here, the Biden administration is urging Democrats to include more rules for tax compliance on cryptocurrency transactions in the upcoming $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation package after a provision in a state-passed infrastructure bill spurred a major industry lobbying offense to limit the reach of new mandates. So basically, we're just seeing, more effort to try to regulate cryptocurrency with this new $3.5 trillion budget, right? A separate Senate-passed infrastructure bill would add cryptocurrency exchanges and others in the business of facilitating transactions involving Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a variety of other virtual tokens to the definition of broker. That must report capital gains and losses to the IRS and the customer. So basically right now, there's no clear guidelines on what a broker is. So they're adding kind of like this other definition here. Under US law, beneficial owners, the traditional financial institutions, are required to identify at times. For instance, during money laundering investigations, include individuals who own at least 25% equity stake in a company, or those with significant responsibility, control, manage, or direct the legal entity. So they're brushing up on the definition. It looks like they're learning. They're becoming more aware of what's going on. And then let me just leave that comment to the man here himself, Charles Hoskinson, the creator of ADA, and let's see what he has to say about the specific subject.
This is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. Today is August 30th, 2021. Just about to go to lunch, but I wanted to make a very quick video to discuss compliance, because I am seeing a lot of FUD and strange articles and bizarre things floating around from Coin Bureau and from Weiss and others. And I don't understand where it's coming from, why they think the things they think or say the things they say. But that's why I have a microphone, so I can show up and correct the record and make sure that everybody is drinking from the same cup. Okay. So every single cryptocurrency that's real, legitimate, and to scale has entities who interact with it who are regulated in some jurisdiction. Okay, that can be the United States, the European Union, other places. Every single one of those regulated entities, to comply with the laws of the land, require tools, capabilities, forensic items, and so forth. Call those KYT, KYC, AML, KYB, etc., etc. There are providers, organizations, standards bodies, developers who exclusively specialize in this domain. for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for the rest of the gang. As Cardano has grown to such a level of prominence that it is in that same league now, those tools are now being ported, upgraded, and enhanced for those regulated actors to do what they need to do for Cardano to stay in compliance with the law. This in no way means that KYC and AML is coming into Daedalus. This in no way means KYC and AML is a prerequisite for the use of the Cardano protocol. Like TCP/IP or any other open protocol, the protocol is government and regulation agnostic. I thought this would be obvious for people, but apparently it's not. So it needs to be said. Like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, this is an open system. No one gets to decide who gets to use this system and how people get to use this system. However, regulated actors and other users who wish to do regulated activity need to go above and beyond the base programming of the underlying protocol, what we've constructed, and use tools and special software in order to stay compliant within their domain, which is why it's important for us to build relationships and partnerships with them so those tools are available where and when those particular users for those particular domains can use them for, like an ATM vendor or Coinbase or any other exchange or a government agency or tax compliance, whatever these things may be. They look at these systems just like anyone else, and they're a user of these systems just like anyone else. And there are people who make millions of dollars providing infrastructure, consulting, support, and software to do these things. At no time has there ever been a discussion about pulling this into the base layer of the protocol. It's not even clear to me how such a thing would be done. And it's a fundamental misunderstanding, a lack of understanding, lack of capacity and ability of people to understand how these things apparently are different. If there was compliance in Daedalus, what regime would there be compliance under? Who would decide that? It's open source software that's completely decentralized. It's sitting in a GitHub repo at any given time. Anyone can fork that and run it with their own brand, logo, and reputation on top of it. It's not proprietary in any sense. And there are other on and off ramps into the protocol, like Yoroi, like Ada Lite, and the many other wallets that support the protocol. Or the command line interface with the node, which again supports the protocol. So exactly how is KYC AML done for that? Think it fucking through. But apparently this fact has been lost, and I've seen it percolating all weekend long, ever since Weiss commented on this. And it's just extraordinary to me. You're doing nothing any different than what has been done already with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and these are just basic steps required to further the adoption and growth of Cardano, especially amongst regulated actors. And apparently that's lost. So I wanted to make a video to reiterate and explain. There's no KYC AML or regulation or compliance that's being baked at the base level of the protocol. Anyone can use it for any purpose. There are no gatekeepers. It's an open, decentralized system. There are efforts ongoing with the Cardano Foundation and other actors in the ecosystem to port existing tools, techniques, software, and capabilities to work with the Cardano blockchain so exchanges can do KYT, so exchanges can feel comfortable with KYC and AML. And of course, there are many discussions about how to bring compliance into the DeFi space, because heavy regulation is coming into the DeFi space over the next 24 months, if we are to believe the statements from the European Union and the US Treasury Department, in which case you have to figure out how do you even do such a thing and how would that work so that a software developer who creates a DeFi application knows what to do if they so choose what to do. And again, to make sure people don't misunderstand or change the statements or continue to FUD, this does not mean that all DeFi on the system is in compliance with a particular regime, or as a DeFi developer, you must follow some design pattern to be in compliance. You as a developer, because it's an open platform, can choose to ignore all laws and all compliance. That's your prerogative with open ecosystems and open architectures. Just like Bitcoin, just like Ethereum, anyone who's building an application can choose where they wish to live, in a white area, a gray area, or a red area. It's their prerogative and decision, not ours.
That's super interesting. What he's proposing there is that there's going to be different types of regulation on Cardano. So it's not going to be obviously programmed into the base layer, but there could be, you know, black markets. Just like right now on the internet, you could easily open up the deep web and go into dark markets, and they can't stop it. Peer-to-peer technology. But there's also the regulated side of the internet. So it's going to go into a variety of different situations. And as a developer and as a consumer, you can pick which one you're going for, if that makes sense. So that's a very, I would say, stable-minded, realistic perspective of what's going to go on with regulation. And yeah, hopefully that puts you at ease, because it put me at ease. Let's finish the video and then we'll continue from there with the altcoins.
All we do as infrastructure providers is build tools and give those tools out to the world as open source software for people to use as they see fit for their business domain. I just don't understand how that's so hard for people to grasp. The existence of these tools is your decision to use or not mine. All I do is just build infrastructure, as are the other 12 companies working on Cardano and the many more companies that the foundation is bringing in. So it's your choice what you want to do. And of course, you have to live with the consequences of the choices you make, where and when these consequences materialize. And if you want to live in a complete red zone, gray area, that's your prerogative. And you just have to accept the consequences of that. If you want to live in a regulated zone, that's your prerogative as well. And you'll have to accept the consequences of that. It's not my concern. And it's not the concern of Cardano, any more so as it's the concern of Bitcoin, any more so as the concern of Ethereum as open infrastructure. But if our goal is to get Fortune 500 companies, government actors, and billions of people to use the product, then we have to accept that they're all going to be using Cardano differently. And that means we have to have a diverse set of partners and tool chains and capabilities for them to use the protocol differently. I think that's a basic concept and in full adherence with the rather libertarian principles of cryptocurrencies in general. Live and let others live the way they desire. Basic stuff, simple stuff. Apparently, the FUDsters don't think so and apply bizarre standards to us when they completely forget that Bitcoin and Ethereum are already there in that respect. So I hope this clears up some things, and I'll keep making videos if it doesn't. And at some point, you just call a spade a spade. Cheers.
All right. Very interesting. Clarification needed. Clarification given. All right. Let's jump into the two altcoins here. Let me close this tab. First one is ALCX. So this coin right here, just to go over some basic information, the market cap's 214 million. 24-hour trading volume is 11 million. Circulating supply is only, look at that, circulating supply is only 619,000, and the total supply is 1.4 million. Max supply 2.3 million. That's actually really small. Remember, Bitcoin's max supply is 21 million. You can see the price is actually very favorable as well. At one point, it was close to $2,000. It's currently sitting at only $346. That's a nice little jump there. I think, what is that? Like, just off the top of my head, it's like almost a 6-7x from its all-time high. And honestly, regardless of the coin, the platform itself is very useful. And this is the purpose of this video. Look, like when I make a video, it's not, I don't always invest in every single altcoin that I talk about, but this is very, very useful. As you can see here too, the total value locked is 535 million, meaning there's a lot of liquidity provided to this platform, and it's for good reason. If we come over to the website, you can see it's kind of basic. It's nothing crazy. We have like a little teaser video. They're taking basically the whole entire, alchemy vibe that you got here with the video and everything like that. And it's just like alchemy. They're trying to create like, I guess you can say, coins from thin air. But the whole point of this is that you're able to lock in future yield. So let's say hypothetically you have a coin like USDC that's going to give you 10% APY. They're allowed to get future yield. It's really interesting. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me just kind of read it here because they could probably explain it way better than I can. It's basically a platform to create yield-backed synthetic tokens. The requirements for creating such a synthetic token is that any existing tokens such as stablecoins or ERC20s must already have a yield-generating mechanism on-chain. This could be lending markets such as Compound or Aave, or Vault-like products such as DAI, YV DAI Vault, or A-Link Vault. The team are targeting stablecoins for the first synthetic token, which is called ALUSD, the AL denominated Alchemix platform. The plan for this ALUSD is to be mintable from several stablecoins, but the protocol will initially only support DAI. The examples of the following selections of ALUSD will apply to other AL tokens in a near identical way. Basically, they created a stablecoin and they allow you to leverage future yield. It's very hard to explain this, but you'll understand what I'm saying right after we kind of break it down a little bit more. They actually have a really good explanation. So if we look over here, we have competitive yield. Choose from a growing number of high yield strategies to repay your debt. No matter what happens, you'll never liquidate your deposit and you'll keep full access. Once you have drawn your ALUSD, you can simply let the loan repay itself. So it's really interesting. Just to break it down in simple terms, let's say hypothetically you put in $100 and you basically put it like a DAI into the pool and you mint ALUSD. You'll get $100 of ALUSD, which is a stable coin that tracks the price of USD. And then you're allowed to borrow 50% of those coins and do whatever you want with them. And the other 50% automatically uses Yearn Finance Curve and some other DeFi protocols to generate yield and repay your debt automatically. So that other 50% is literally working for you while you took a loan out on it, and then the 50% that you took away is automatically getting repaid from that yield opportunity. It's actually one of the most revolutionary things I've seen in a long time. Actually, look at the security audit just to give you guys perspective on how safe it is. And the only thing that's really a problem here, a major issue, is centralized risk, which is pretty much the same thing with all the major DeFi protocols. They typically have a lot of centralized risk because of the pricing oracles, as well as they just want to make sure that if it gets hacked, the proper, guidelines are set in place and you don't have to like go through a whole entire governance program. So, nothing out of the ordinary, but definitely something to take in consideration. Also, they were hacked for a small amount. I believe it was about 5 million. They handled it relatively good. A lot of these protocols get hacked, guys. This is the reason why it has resilience. It's because they get over the hack, and sometimes they'll have like, I got hacked one time with Yearn Finance, and they completely refunded me all my money from the treasury. So they usually have a treasury. They have one as well that could refund the hacks just in case there is one. So it's really interesting stuff that we have, like these community-driven DeFi protocols that are doing things like having their own insurance. It's really good stuff. All right, so token distribution is really good, actually. Their initial launch, they basically gave 80% of the tokens by staking certain tokens in the liquidity pool as incentive mechanisms. The actual DAO received 15%, and then they had another DAO that received a reserve of 5%. So it's kind of like a open launch, not exactly. Their emission schedule is actually not that bad. Number one, they don't have a lot of tokens in existence, so that's really good. But there will be a pre-mine of 478,612. The calculation is derived from the token supply of 2.3 million after 3 years, with the 15% of supply going to the DAO Treasury and 5% to the Bug Bounty Program. 358,959 ALCX will be allocated to the Treasury for use as determined by the community. Okay, so as you can see here, the rewards will basically be given out to the stakers and the liquidity providers. Now, again, the reason why this is so important, guys, and I want to show you the app, is because this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's giving us more control over our money. So let's look at the loan estimator. Let's say hypothetically, again, I put up, let's just make it a bigger number. Let's say I put up, 10,000. If I put up 10,000, I can borrow $5,000. I could literally give them $10,000 USD, take back 5,000, right? And the other 5,000 that I owe as debt will get paid back automatically. As you can see here, the maturity date will be in 2024. So I could take this money and freely do whatever I want. I could go lose it all if I wanted to, and the yield will automatically be paid back no matter what. It's not exactly free money. There is risk. There's smart contract risk. There's all this type of risk, but it is very close to that. It's literally alchemy. Like they're creating it out of thin air. Now the APYs are not 20%, they're about 15%. So realistically, it'll take a while to pay back. But the fact that you could just sit there and rest assured that this is going to happen in the background, you don't have to worry about anything, is pretty cool. I think it's really, really cool. So you'll have more freedom over your money. So like, for example, for a company, if I had $100,000 on my cash balance sheet or whatever the case is, and I wanted to make payroll is 20K, right? I want to make payroll, but I want this money because, you know, whatever happens, a rainy day, or I want to just gain yield. I want to gain yield on my money. I don't want to just give it to payroll to these people. So what I could do is put up the 100 grand into their stable coin, take back $50,000, take $20,000, make payroll, and then the other 30 grand, I can put it into Ethereum as an appreciating asset. And that other $50,000 that are sitting there is generating yield, paying back itself, I don't know, man. Cryptocurrency allows for ridiculous tools. It's absolutely crazy how it's what we've gone to. Like, I remember watching these dumb casino coins and stuff like that, and called dApps. Remember dApp Radar back in the day before DeFi was even a thing? And now we have these full decentralized finance applications that are doing things that we've never seen before in the history of mankind. I've never been more excited to be a part of cryptocurrency. If we come over here, they have a pretty good marketing, 39.8K followers. Pretty much all DeFi protocols must be aware of this. You must be aware of this coin because of what they're doing is very, very foundational. If you look at their Discord, they have a lot of members, 7,532. It's pretty good. And in general, they're basically going to have future use cases. Right now, the actual token is only being used for the decentralized autonomous organization. So I want to be very clear with you guys. There's a reason why the price is low. The price is low. I did invest, but it's such a small amount. It's like one of the smallest amounts I've invested in a long time. I just want to be clear with you guys. So don't go over there aping into this coin, especially if you don't have the money to pay for transaction fees, and especially if you can't lose it. Like if I were to, I don't even know the exact percentage, but I believe it's 0.0001% of my entire cryptocurrency holdings. So it's like not even close to 1%. It's like 1/10 of 1%. So I invested a very small amount. And the reason I did that is because of the future potential of what they could do with the decentralized autonomous organization and the coins, right? So right now, the coin's not even used in the protocol. So there's literally no incentive mechanism there's no demand except for the fact that if you want to vote on the protocol, that's the only reason why anybody would accumulate this token. It's a bad and a good thing. A good thing because it doesn't attract speculators, but it's a bad thing because the price doesn't really have a demand mechanism except for if you want to vote on the protocol. So in general, this is actually not a good token to invest in, but it's a good token to use their actual application, if that makes sense. Like you want to use their application. I'm probably going to do it. You know, it's funny because, you know, my girlfriend is not working right now because we're going to have kids. As you guys know, I'm having twins, and she needs like kind of like money because we're going to buy a house soon. So she needs money in her bank account. I'm probably going to take a certain percentage of it, put it in here, take the money out, give it to her so it shows a balance in her bank account, a bigger balance. Obviously, you want to have the biggest balance possible so you can get like the best loan possible. And then, you know, in general, like she still has the money in crypto generating yield and she's not losing. So it's like a win-win situation. And there's a lot of DeFi protocols that have been using this. So definitely pay attention to this coin, ALCX. I invested a very, 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 very small amount. And I say very that many times because I want you guys to be aware of that. All right, second coin. Eden, or EDEN, is down 4.3%. This is, in my personal opinion, undervalued. The market cap is 483 million. The 24-hour trading volume is 29 million. Max supply is 250 million. It's a lot of coins, but it's for good reason. If we look at the actual total price, we're actually relatively close to the all-time high. And again, that's for good reason as well. There's a lot of DeFi protocols and whales using this protocol. A lot of whales are using this. So let me explain exactly, basically what it is. So if we go over to the website, it is a little bit complicated, but in general, there's something on Ethereum called miner extractable value. It creates a natural tension between block producers, bots, applications, and general network users. Moreover, upcoming network level changes to the Ethereum IP 1559 and ETH 2.0 introduce significant uncertainty to block producer rewards. We propose an optional, non-consensus breaking transaction ordering protocol which allows participants to guarantee placements within blocks and protection from arbitrary reordering or front running and sandwiching. So if you guys don't understand how mining works, there's basically these blocks, right? And in the blocks, you can submit a transaction. The block doesn't go through until every 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes or so. And what could happen is there could be a bot that looks at your transaction and does something called front running, where they can basically take your spot in the block and submit the same transaction you were supposed to do. So for example, if you're a profitable trader and you want to buy this token at this exact price for this exact reason, there could be a bot that comes in, swoops in, takes your position, and then forces you to buy after them, which, like, if you're putting like $1 million or something, it could pump the price of the coin after they bought. So they basically take your spot in the block. This is called front running. There's also an issue called sandwich attacks and stuff like that. So these issues only arise in actually Ethereum because of miner extractable value. And what they do is they actually provide security around that. So it's very, very interesting. If we go to the main part of the website, you can see that it allows you to have a priority transaction. So if we can see in the main website, Eden is a priority transaction network that protects traders from front running, aligns incentive for block producers, and redistributes miner extractor value. Actually, it's so useful that 55.19% of the total hash rate on Ethereum is using Eden. And unlike Alchemex, they basically have an actual incentive mechanism and a burning mechanism in their actual token. So their token is actually literally forced to be used for all of the 55.19% of the hash rate, or whatever the case is. So this is what I mean by very undervalued. If we look over here at the token utility, Eden tokens are built on a unit base to conduct the continuous auction for claim to priority block space and provides users access to a private relayer. Eden tokens are burned on a daily basis under the Harburger tax imposed on slot tenants to ensure that there's a frequent rotation of top addresses, creating consistent demand for Eden tokens. So very, very interesting stuff. The initial distribution, as you can see right here, primarily went to key bots, validators, and users to maintain the security of the network. As you can see there was basically 8.1 million distributed via emissions to the validators and liquidity providers. 5.4 million went to validators, 2.7 million went to liquidity providers. So not exactly 100% transparent launch, but as you can see here, the treasury only got 10%, and the vast majority of it went to the people, which is a good thing, the users of this platform. So you can actually stake, on this token as well if you wanted to. I'm not going to do it right now. I have not bought any of this yet. I probably will and stake on it because they provide a really good, return, as well as this coin just looks revolutionary. It's just very different. And clearly a lot of people are using it because it solves the hair on fire problem in DeFi, which is sandwich attacks and front running issues. So in general, like, I want people to understand these two coins, regardless if you invest in it or not. Do some research yourself. I'm not going to dive extremely deep. I'm saving my deep research for the Cardano series, which of course we're going to continue the series. I just wanted to update you guys on what I'm doing in the market as it happens. And then, the Cardano videos come out. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on my other YouTube channel. I talk about entrepreneurship and all that beautiful stuff. If you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this, guys. Catch you in the next one.